Okay, SAO2, episode 16. To get out of the way, the only part of this episode that actually made me laugh genuinely was when Thrym, the Frost Giant King, came walking in saying, I see you guys have freed my wife. And she's like, I don't want to be your wife. He's like, I love that fierceness about you. Makes me want you even more. And all I kept thinking throughout the whole scene was just looking at the elf, I say princess, and then Thrym. It's just like, yeah, that ain't gonna work, buddy. I mean, what's with shows and having these giant men, monstrous men, want these tiny little females as their bride? It boggles the mind. And there's been the excuse like, oh, they just generally like them and they only want them for emotional reasons. You know, it's like they have a bond. No. They want them for their beauty. And essentially their beauty is a lead up to wanting to fornicate. So, yeah, I can't get into the mindset behind these people and saying, I want to do that. But she's this small compared to you. How do you think that's going to work? Unless you have some sort of shrinking potion or growing magic, it ain't gonna work. You're gonna kill her. Don't even think about it. But either way, it made me laugh. Question, very disturbing thoughts, but made me laugh nonetheless. But the rest of the episode, I never really brought in the game mechanics of any of the worlds they're in, because I never thought that it'd be important to the story. But really, when I think about it, it is important, and especially now that they're focusing more on the actual game and a quest within the game. So when you really think about how they play this MMO, they're really bad at it. Because at the very beginning, they mentioned how this quest is based on lore, on a real life lore of, I'm guessing, Norse mythology. And it'll lead up to Ragnarok. 2 armies, one fire and one ice. Make your fire and ice jokes anywhere you want. And coming in, destroying the land. And essentially that means destroying the map and destroying the game. My question is, there are 2 assumptions I can make from this. One, the game developers know this is happening. They're behind this whole quest. Meaning, they're behind the idea that this might destroy the map, essentially destroy their game. And that's where I question, why would you make a game and then just destroy it like that? It makes no sense. Because the point of an MMO is to have them play it as often as possible and thus give you a subscription fee, making money. But if you destroy the game, that's it. And essentially it's saying, if you fail, you suck, the game is destroyed. Bye, you can't play it again. Well, screw you guys, I'll go play another game. And the second assumption is, if they don't know this is going on, it's a glitch. Like the cardinal system is learning by itself. But then I have to wonder, where are the game developers and why aren't they looking into this? Do they not come in and check on how the game is going or how the players are enjoying their game? Are there no forums where they can ask questions like, hey, what's with this Excalibur quest, and what's with this giant elf woman saying the game will be destroyed? The game developers will probably be like, what? We didn't put that in this game. We gotta check into this. Oh shit, it's a glitch. Let's fix that, or at least erase it. Boom, done. Story is gone because the game developers realized the cardinal system was getting out of control. So either way, I have to wonder, why is this story happening the way it's happening? But then we get to the main part of the story, which is kind of weird because the first half is just fighting these 2 end boss enemies, these 2 giant bull or minotaurs. And this one is when I realized that we're just accepting that the show calls Kirito the best player ever because he is able to fight these monsters with these cool skill sets and everything. But he's not that good of a gamer. Because here he is with a party fighting these two minotaurs. One is immune to physical attacks or just has very high physical resistance, and the other is, has high magical resistance. And they're sitting there thinking, well, shit, how are we gonna get past this? I'm just thinking, like, you didn't bring a mage with you? What party in an MMO does not bring at least one mage, a battle mage of some sorts, for attack spells for this very purpose? There are gonna be enemies that have high physical resistance, so bring a mage. You have Asuna, who's a healer, but it doesn't seem like she has that many attack spells. So you should have brought a mage. It's planning, it's strategy. It's better to have one and not need it than to need one and not have a mage. But either way, then it takes them forever to figure out, well, let's just use magical sword attacks. You didn't think of that before? It's just, I don't know. These guys clearly show no sign of actual knowledge of how to play an MMO. I don't know if they just hang out. It's like, this world is beautiful. Let's just hang out and maybe kill a couple low-level monsters. Have they never gone on a big major quest? I don't know, because we don't follow them when they're playing the game. But either way, it leads up to two problems with this ALO game that they clearly have. One is, as soon as you use this magical sword attack, your character automatically freezes. Why do you have that implemented? I can understand cooldowns, like you can't use it in succession, but why freeze the whole character and leave them completely defenseless? I would understand if it's a tank character, as they're meant to, draw the attention of the enemy and take on as much damage, to protect the rest of the party. But all the characters are frozen. It doesn't matter what type of skill set you have, as long as you use this one ability, your character just freezes. That makes no sense. That's just really unfair and unbalanced. And then the next thing was the whole skill connect that Kirito apparently was able to master, of course, because he's Kirito. It's using one-handed sword skills in each hand, but with the 3-second delay between each hand, but it's still technically dual wielding. Like, oh no, it's not dual wielding, it's skill connect. What's with all this runaround? Just make it dual wielding. If you're gonna make it possible for a character to use two swords at the same time in the game at all, just make it dual wielding. It's probably a lot simpler to code that in than this whole skill connect with 3-second delay between swords, and having someone with patience and good timing, because Kirito's God, coming in just boom, 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 boom. See, I could do it because I'm awesome. It makes no sense. It's just a lot of work for really something that could have been made a whole lot simpler. Dual wielding. That's it. And then the whole walking by the NPC, the elf, who's a mage, they can max their HP. Thankfully, the game gave them a mage because they weren't smart enough to bring a mage with them. Or at least have one of their characters be a mage. I don't know. So they bring her along, but the lead up to how they got into her party, it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, because I'm thinking it's like it could be a trap to lead us away from the quest and make us fail it. It's like, part of an MMO is to try everything and just experiment and just like, what's gonna happen if I talk to this person or free this prisoner or just something. Part of MMO is trying everything to see how it affects the game. Just walking by this poor elf woman just chained up, it's kind of cruel, and it makes the game less enjoyable if you do that. But what really hit me hard was when they realized, she's an NPC based on the same, code structure, what language drive that the giant elf queen that gave us this quest is based on. So you should have thought, she mentioned having two sisters. Maybe she could be one of those two sisters. Hello? Yes? Maybe she's chained up for a reason. But what And then another thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was when Klein. I mean, I love Klein. I mean, he was the only one that actually I can fall behind with this, because he was like, you know what? Even if she's just an NPC, even if it might be a trap, she is a woman who is in trouble. I need to do this. I gotta do this no matter what you guys say. Good for you, Klein. Good for you. Love ya. And he goes back, and of course he's like tries to be charming. He's like, "Are you all right, my lady?" or something like that. He's like, "All right, that's nice. It's funny." But the reaction everyone else has is like, "Oh, this guy, he's so stupid. He's so corny or something." It's like, this is pretty much the same thing that Kirito does. He constantly comes in trying to save every female he comes across that he thinks is in trouble, and he's trying to play off these corny lines. And everyone's okay with it because he's cool. But when Klein does it, it's so dorky and stupid. It's like, no, Klein is being pretty cool right now. Let him have his moment. Kirito can't be the only cool guy in the whole goddamn world. But yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of problems that I have with this episode. And mainly due to the supposed game mechanics of ALO. Story-wise, I don't really know if the story was that bad. It was just, again, a lot of the game mechanics are questionable and made me wonder as to whether I should be taking this whole quest thing and stopping Thrym seriously. Is he really that big of a threat? Are they really serious about destroying the game? Because, again, that makes no sense. They can just go play a different game. Is it this special to them? I mean, if it's the home where their daughter is, she can transfer to a different game. I don't know, but I don't know. I sound like I'm hating on this episode, and I probably am. Even though I don't really want to, but it's something I have to question. Either way, hopefully the next one will be a lot better. So. Until then, I'm Tony Dragon. Bye-bye.